Hey everyone, it's Roldy. So I got a new mic and I hope it sounds good, but I'm gonna have to hold it close to my mouth just to make sure I'm not too loud. It is late at night, but I'm bringing you some season six battles using a Pokemon that I was actually using in my catch cup. So let's get into the battles and I'll just talk a little bit over what the team is looking like. So I'm running Rapidash with Incinerate in the front. So here we have a Metachamp. So what I do, this is not a great lead for me, great lead. So what I tend to do is I just end up sacking it to some degree, but at the same time, I know I'm gonna get at least one shield usually. So I'm gonna throw the first flame charge. They shield it, and at this point, I know that I can commit one shield because I'm gonna get to the second incinerate flame charge. Incinerate generates energy extremely fast. Um, and I can just go in with a Azumarill. So I'm running a Azumarill and Melmetal. So you forgot about Melmetal. Well, Melmetal's back. At least I brought it back for this set. So I'm running Play Rough and I'm running Hydro Pump on this Azumarill. No Ice Beam. It just kind of works better, especially when you get stuck with the Bastiodon matchup. So I land the Play Rough. At this point, I'm going to be able to beat this Dugong. So I know what I'm going to try to do is probably switch out after the Icy Wind. So I know I have plenty of time. They have a Munchlax. So this is definitely the Asian Milkman team. And I'm feeling pretty good at this point. Hopefully they shield. I'm going to go for the bait. They shield. So now I know I can land a superpower. But they're about to get off I'm pretty sure it's a bulldoze. Luckily, was able to shield that bulldoze correctly, and that was enough to get them to quit. So that was a good first match of that set. And we have EV over here he's not in the coaching corner today. He's just hanging out in the back, reminding you to save your EVs for evolution time when you're trying to level up to level 42. So we had a great lead there with Shiftry. We Azumarill mirror match. Obviously, this is not the most fun thing to watch, but it's not as bad as a Bronzer mirror match. So I think at this point, this is kind of refreshing. But they have a Hydro Pump, so I know that I'm feeling pretty good because I'm gonna be able to outpace it. I'm also like trying to like deny any extra bubbles. So I've been practicing a lot of the fast move denial. And it's been working, and I don't really know if it works because I'm doing it right or because it just they didn't get it through. So anyways, Alolan Marowak here. I'm able to land a Joe Run, which is actually really nice. I'm gonna let this Bone Couple go through and just see how much I can farm down. Maybe I can get to another Joe Run. Even though Incinerate generates energy extremely fast, it makes Rapidash kind of not laggy, but it does take a second or two before you can, even after you click on the move, for it to register. And this is also kind of screws you over sometimes when the move just doesn't register and you're like over tapping like crazy. So I knew that the Shiftry in the back I can handle with Melmetal. They shielded, so now I can safely just go for a superpower and knock it out. Shiftry is very glassy, so Melmetal there for the win. So Melmetal is coming in super clutch. I know Melmetal kind of fell out of favor, especially with Galarian Stunfisk, but this whole team is like a soft Galarian Stunfisk counter, and then also loses to Galarian Stunfisk. But except for Azumarill, obviously, but it's obviously you're not going to be able to match it up with a Galarian Stunfisk every time. It's another reason I'm running Hydro Pump instead of Ice Beam. So this is okay. So they're running Double Charmer, and I'm like, okay, what the hell are they running? Are they running that back? Are they running a backwards Double Charmer Fire in the back? So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need to go in with my Melmetal now to make sure I avoid the fire, and also because Melmetal is really good against the fairies because it resists everything that Wigglytuff has, and I just at this point I'm a little confused why they haven't switched out. I'm like, what is in the back? What could be in the back? And it's another Charmer, Gramble. So triple Charmer team. So maybe they're filming a YouTube video too. I'm trying to be hilarious. But So I know that Gramble has crunch and close combat, so I almost didn't shield here, just to flex on them. And good thing I didn't. They're running play rough on top of running charm, which is insane. Um, so good thing I did. I almost debated like, should I just not shield? This is gonna be a crunch, um, and it was a play rough. So good thing I shielded. So don't. That's a lesson there. If you could take anything from this video, just take there. Don't go for the 2 shield flex. Just be safe. You never know when they're running a triple charmer team with a charm and play rough move set. So again, Obstagoon is another like bad lead. So what I do is I just kind of sack my Rapidash, but they switched out, so that gives me enough time to switch out my into my Azumarill mirror. This is interesting because I do, like I said, I'm practicing trying to like squeeze in an extra bubble and denying their bubble. So I'm trying to, and then the game has been extremely laggy in terms of queuing things lately, even with switches. And so there I'm able to like deny their bubble. Maybe I did it right. Maybe it's just luck. But if you notice, they were ahead on energy and I'm able to beat that Azumarill, which is kind of crazy. So here we have Uxie, which is pretty cool. I know it has Thunder. Usually, you're gonna run it with Confusion and Thunder. So I know I don't know what else it has. Blizzard. I mean, I'm sure they're not running a Psychic charge move. So I shield that Thunder. What was in the front? Oh, it was an Obstagoon. So they still have the Obstagoon. So I got to make sure. So I tried it. So you see how like it didn't register there, and I was already at the Flame Charge. So that kind of at that point I figured I lost the match because that was a mega fail. But they stayed with Uxie in. So and I'm waiting for them to switch. They don't switch. So I throw the Rock Slide. And I think that was a huge mistake because now I can easily get to the superpower and knock out this Obstagoon. I believe if they would have switched out into Obstagoon earlier or try to catch on Obstagoon, I would have ended up debuffing myself and maybe they could have won with Uxie, especially after that fail with that Rapidash. All right, so this is a great lead. And this is a Razor Leaf Obama Snow and a Bastiodon. Again, I usually, if I would have had Ice Beam, I would have had to have thrown that Joe Run first because I know that none of my charge moves do anything. But now that I have a Hydro Pump, I can safely just switch out, save my energy on my Rapidash. And I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I'm letting them throw at me because I don't want the Bomba Snow to come farm me, but I also didn't time that right because I was supposed to time it perfectly, and they ended up beating me, but it ended up working out anyways because yeah, I can get to Flame Charge, and I'm starting to get ahead on energy on this Cresselia. And this is a Confusion Cresselia, so this is not good. This is gonna be chunking pretty hard, but again, I've got both shields. I'm feeling pretty comfortable at this point because I know that Rock Slide should KO from here. And yeah, now they left with this Obama Snow with Razor Leaf, so that's not going to do much to Melmetal. Melmetal is so clutch right now. He's just roaming free. So that kind of worked out. So that was a good 5-0 set at rank, I think it was rank 7. So at first I was trying out my my Catch Cup team. I pretty much used my Catch Cup team all the way up till now, which was Rapidash, Wigglytuff, and Cherim in the back. It was like a double fire, double charmer team. Cherim working as a charmer and a fire type, but this is a terrible lead. But it wasn't doing very well, so I did switch it up, and I really like this team so far. So they haven't switched out of Azumarill, which is interesting, and I just go for Play Rough, and at this point I'm waiting for them to switch. I mean, they have I gave up switch advantage, so I'm waiting for them to switch out. They're not going to, so I'm like, maybe they have something that's weak to Azumarill in the back, and it's always hard to figure out like what can be so weak to Azumarill that they can't switch anything onto it. So we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna stay in, go play rough, because at this point, we at least we have the shield advantage. So I'll take that, and I can go in safely, or not safely. I can go in back in with my Rapidash and try to get ahead on energy. If you are ahead on energy, flame charge Rapidash is really clutch. It starts to ramp up your attack. So there, I shouldn't have thrown. I should have definitely switched out immediately. So this is not good. Galarian Stump Fix and Melmetal, but they let that go through. And at this point, now I know I can safely bait, which I did. And I'm actually, all this charge move throwing is actually running the clock, which is what I was trying to do. I'm trying to run the clock so I can switch out. They have 1 HP. Unfortunately, wasn't able to. I still have to shield again. I'm able to switch out in time. Able to throw a flame charge on this Altaria. And I'm trying to get to one more. Can I get there? Okay, barely got there. Many times Rapidash goes down because it just takes so long to get that move going. But that worked out. So Melmetal was able to beat Galarian Stunfisk there. Being able to properly shield. So I think going for that superpower right away was the key, even though that it seemed like not the right move, or maybe that's why they didn't shield. So again, Galarian Stunfisk against Rapidash is not great, because especially when it's like even energy. If I'm ahead on energy, it's not bad, but right now they're going to be able to outpace me, so I'm going to have to double shield. So I usually double shield. I'll go down. I'll lose shield advantage, but I need to get this thing as weak as possible. Or they're going to let it go. So let's see what they decide to do. They decide to shield. And I decide to catch the Rock Slide on my Azumarill. And at this point, there's no shields left, so I can safely go for Play Rough and knock out this Shiftry. So at this point, I don't even know if maybe an Ice Beam. I can't remember an Ice Beam completely knocks out a Shiftry from there. I'm pretty sure it does because it's so glassy. But yeah, Play Rough is just fine. The only time so they decide to quit. So obviously Skarmory and Melmetal is not good for Skarmory. So this team is actually looking pretty good so far. You know, we got a 5-0 so far. Now we're on like a 7-0 streak, 6-0. Another bad lead. So what I do again is just I have to sack. I have to pretty much, I let it go the Power Punch. I know they're probably going to shield at least one. I can get to 2 flame charges before I go down. And I only know this because I've led Rapidash so many times now that I've learned its matchups pretty well, and it's such a great lead, and you can actually sweep an entire team if you get the right alignment, which I have done in the Catch Cup, but I didn't end up posting any of those videos. I had like technical difficulties with my equipment, but whatever. I mean, it's not as fun watching season 5 battles. I felt like I didn't even watch that many battles on YouTube because they weren't as competitive. So now I'm excited for season 6. Maybe we can get to rank 20. Well, obviously 24 it's the goal, but maybe 23 at least. That would be pretty cool. So let's see. So again, this is a great situation. They didn't even get a charge move off, and the Frostlass decides to quit. Actually a pretty cool team. So I'll give them some credit. That was a pretty cool team with the Frostlass in the back. I respect any ghost type usage that is. Okay, so this is a terrible lead again. Swampert. So I switch out into Azumarill as my safe switch. I assume that Hypno's going to carry Thunder Punch. I'm going to tank them. I'm going to go straight for Hydro Pump. Let's see if they decide to shield. Usually they don't. They'll let the first one go through, especially because most Azumarills are not carrying Hydro Pump. So usually they'll end up being hit by an Ice Beam. I know I myself usually will go for Ice Beam in those situations. So luckily I don't have it, so I went for Hydro Pump. Kind of worked out because I got a shield. And I'm able to get an Incinerate through. So incinerate is, like I said, it's pretty. It charges extremely fast. It does a ton of damage. It's pretty nasty. So I'm expecting their Swampert to come back in, which is why I was ready to throw that Joe run. I was like, all right, I know they're coming back with Swampert. Um, I switched it to Melmetal, which again, it wasn't like my plan was just kind of to throw them off, and it kind of did. And they switched into Dugong, which is not as terrible switching. So I think they realized that too. They realized that they should have stayed in. So at this point, I can easily just throw a rock slide to bait them, and then I can just go for a superpower or drill run, finish it off with Rapidash. So it kind of worked out there. Horrible lead, came back around and took that game. Sometimes I was watching King's video about like aggressive switching or just being like kind of smart about your switching. I don't know if that was my attempt at doing that. I mean, it was my attempt, but I don't know if that's why it worked. But anyways, this is another bad lead. So again, when this happens, I just got to sack my my Rapidash. But they throw a cross chop. I was expecting a Night Slash, which would have let me get to my flame charge, but they threw a cross chop, so that was too bad. So this is not looking pretty good. They've been charging for a while, so I'm anticipating maybe a Focus Blast. I mean, you gotta be prepared for that, like out of nowhere Focus Blast. I know I was running Focus Blast Hypno in the Kanto Cup, and it was actually pretty fun. Just randomly surprising people. Even if you lost the game, landing a Focus Blast is always like super satisfying enough to even like be like, all right, whatever. At least I landed that, so who cares if I lost? But, anyways, let's see here. We're not looking too good here. Dugong is ahead on health, and what are we left with? Our Melmetal. So at this point, this gives you a lot of time to think when you're in this standstill between a Dugong and a Azumarill, and I'm like trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do to win this match. I'm trying to like get enough energy to superpower the Primate. I fell. If I would have been able to at least get the shield, maybe, I would have been able to win this. But unfortunately, it was too fast, and I wasn't able to get enough. So at this point, yeah, it's close, but I'm not gonna be able to win this match. So yeah, my Melmetal would have been able to get to superpower right away. That was my plan. Just trying to get ahead of energy, get to that superpower, either force the Primate to shield or try to maybe get it really low. So that was a 4-1. So in total, what was that? 9 wins in a row with Rapidash, Melmetal, and Azumarill. So I hope you like those battles. I hope you enjoyed this ASMR session. And thank you for watching. If you watched this entire video, please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you very soon.